Hi, thank you so much for tuning in to Stay by Plan. If you'd like to advertise or partner with us, contact us at staybyplanpod@gmail.com. That is staybyplanpod@gmail.com. Thank you. Accra be hard, so stress for the yard, but we still go day streets, we for find some meats.
Stay by plan, stay by plan. All the girls, all the boys, for stay by plan. Stay by plan, Accra, stay by plan. All the boys, all the girls, for stay by plan. Stay by plan, stay by plan. All the boys, all the girls, for stay by plan. Just a stay by plan with Afi Zuu. All the G's for Accra, shall we do for you? If you also want react, then that be cool. Hashtag stay by plan, shall we do for you? Welcome back to Stay by Plan. And before we go ahead, we would like to announce that this episode is in loving memory of Isaac Osei Kojo, aka Nana Osei.
aka Ashanti immigrant. To me, I know him as Uncle Nana because he's a friend of my sister's husband, very close friend. And it's painful to see that he's no longer with us. But yes, we did enjoy having him here. He was an amazing person, very important and instrumental to the artist community in Ghana. And we pray that his soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes.
So Nana, this is dedicated to you. So this is Nana. So yeah.
Very nice. Anyway, so moving on to the episode today. As always, before we start, please follow us on social media at Stay by Plan Pod. Today we have wait, before you don't worry, we'll come to you, don't worry. We have merch. So please
buy our merch. We
Please
need
buy our
money,
merch.
people. We actually need
we
money.
have tote bags and we have
Gibbets.
gibbets. So if you have Crocs, you can get nice Stay by Plan gibbets. I can see mine is there. It's very nice. So yeah, if there's anything else you want to say.
Oh no, what have you been up to this week, Zuu?
Oh man, I've been at home most of the time. Yeah, I've just
Are
been.
you sure?
Yeah, where
I'm
did
just
I go?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I've been at home most of the time. Not doing much, just waiting for. I'm so excited to record, to see Afi again. And
You're lying.
record
You're
it.
so excited to see her.
As in you.
Me, that's a lie. Hey, you see me every
Yeah,
week.
so
Are you
excited.
serious?
Yeah.
Zuu lives close to me.
And it's the happiest day of my life every time I see you. So
You're lying. You're just trying to cheer me up.
not true. So
Anyway.
yeah. How about you? How have you been? Some styles.
I've been fine. I've been through a lot. This has been a tough week.
Yeah, toughest week of your life.
Yes, definitely. But if I'm here recording, I guess
Yeah.
we still move on, right?
Yeah. Okay, guests. How was your week?
My week was good. Can we like the introduction is not really.
Hey,
will introduce you. Are
you can't come and tell us how to do
teaching us
our show. Go.
how to
Please get up.
It's not really introduction.
Teaching us how to podcast.
Okay, tell us
my
who
week.
you are. Since you want to
Oh,
introduce yourself
my
so
week- my
sharply.
week, my week was fine. Thank you for asking.
What did you do?
I went to school.
Did you talk to Zuu?
No.
So how did you know where the studio was if you didn't talk to Zuu? Women, they can lie unprovoked though.
I'm a big fan. I've been known.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, good save. So
Okay.
Zuu, please can you introduce our
No,
guest?
she said she wants to
No.
introduce herself.
I'm
Ah,
completely. Please do the honest.
Okay, I'll just be brief. This is Xolasie. Xolasie is a.
He said,
Why is she laughing?
What am I?
Xolasie is a student
Yeah.
of what? What are you
of
learning in
life.
school?
What are you learning in school actually?
International relations. Political
International
science.
relations.
Oh,
Okay. What's that?
What do you mean by
International
what's that?
relations.
International relations.
I know what this is, but I want to see if she's actually learning. They used to
So
ask
you're
me that.
making the episode drag, and you'll be there when I have important questions to ask. Then you come and tell me that we should cut. You both saw what you did to me in the last episode.
Xolasie is a student and she likes to drip.
What?
So without much ado, Xolasie, tell us why you're
Why
here
you-
today.
why you
Why did
here?
Zuu invite
Why
you on the
did-
podcast? Because everybody has a special thing about them that makes us know that, okay, this person is like fire. Like,
And
when the
that's why
person
we
comes,
want to talk to them. And,
so why? I know he has a crush on you, but that one day is on an aside.
I don't understand where this is coming
Can
from,
you
guys.
imagine?
It's okay. I don't want the episode to drag.
I don't.
So.
Hi. So my name is Xolasie, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I am a student. I go to Webster University.
Okay.
I'm
Why
here
did Zuu call
today
you? Yeah.
to talk about sickle cell awareness.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo. So, fun fact, this is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So, in view of that, we want to have a conversation about sickle cell, and we hope that this conversation is going to educate, encourage, and enlighten our audience.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's why we have
So to start
Xolasie.
off, Afi, you were saying that you were reading on it and stuff. So please tell us what sickle cell.
Who wants me to be embarrassed?
Tell us
But I
what's-
shouldn't be embarrassed because I have a savior here. So if I don't know, I'll ask someone that I have offsets to help me.
Afi, tell us
What
that?
do I know about sickle cell?
Yeah, what's
Okay, so when you study agriculture in school, there's something called a sickle, right? They use it to farm, right? And it has a shape like this. So if they tell you sickle cell, then that should let you know that it has to do with a cell that looks like a sickle, right? So that's the first one for the layman. So sickle cell has to do with like blood genotypes. Genotypes? Oh, you people don't be quiet on me.
Oh no, we are listening to you. Keep
No,
going,
stop.
keep
You people,
going.
I don't like that.
No, you're doing well.
What does it have to do with blood genotypes? Yes. So everybody has a genotype, and there are three main classes. That's AA, AS, and SS. So if you are in the SS genotype, that means you have the sickle cell. You are sickle cell. But if you are AS, you have the sickle cell trait. And then if you are AA, you do not have any sickle cell or any sickle cell trait at all. And based on how you get this trait is based on marriage and having children and like combinations. Genetics, that's the word. So yeah, that's what I know about sickle
You
cell.
inside.
Please, can you grade me on a scale of?
You did really well.
Oh, I mean, I'm an A student.
You did really well. You did really well.
Thank you. So anything to top up?
Oh, you said it all. I'm so
very nervous.
yeah.
So just like kind of brush over, it's a blood disorder that's carried through parents and genetics. And like you said, basically there are three blood types. That's AA, AS, and then SS. So me personally, I'm SS. My mom was AS, my dad was AS. So I'm SS. My sister is SS. My brother is AA. So yeah, I guess passed down through genetics, the blood, and yeah, that's pretty much
Perfect.
Okay. So
Thank you so much.
let's get right into it because as Afi said, we don't really have time like that. So when did you realize? Maybe you don't remember, but like maybe your parents. When did you guys realize that? Nah, this girl has sickle cell.
Yeah.
probably from like when I was born, because they do that test. Yeah.
So it means your parents didn't do the test.
Okay, so the thing is, you need to know your genotype, but my dad was like, he doesn't have it. Family, like, through, like, he denied it. He was like, no, he doesn't, and he refused to go and check. That's the thing.
Right,
So
right.
I think it's very important that people are educated about it,
Right.
so that they all go ahead and actually go ahead and get tested, because you don't want a situation where you end up having a child who's constantly in pain and you don't really know much about it or how to even help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's true. So have you had the opportunity to stay outside the country before?
No.
Okay, because I remember like one of my friends was telling me that it seems like sickle cell is more of like, they say it's like a black person's disease. So if you have if you are sickle cell and you have a crisis outside, like it will feel over you.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, I've traveled and had crises when most of the time, even I could be in the US and I would have a crisis. At the end of the day, I would say it affects mostly Africans and Asians per se. It's not necessarily like a Western kind of disease, which is why I say it's important to like educate people on it, because sometimes you can go into a hospital and they claim they know so much about sickle cell, they don't even know how to take care of you.
Right.
And there are so many situations like that where they just don't know the procedures and the protocol, and they treat it like, sometimes even people with sickle cell get accused of faking pain.
Right.
Oh, like it's not that bad, it's not that deep, and it's kind of tragic and sad, but at the end of the day, like, that's why conversations like this are important, I feel like.
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's a very important question. Like, what does it feel like like when you have a crisis?
What is a crisis? Because we just said crisis.
what's
like
that?
Okay,
Sickle
so
cell crisis. What's that?
a crisis, like she said, red blood cells are sickled. So that means that the restriction of oxygen, obviously red blood cells carry oxygen through the blood.
Yeah.
So we're not getting as much oxygen through our blood. That's the first one. Second of all, the blood can basically, the red blood cells that are sickled can basically kind of clump. Yeah,
Like
I don't know how to explain it.
like
Yeah,
what?
like clump in one area, and then that is what it creates pain. Obviously,
Is
and
the pain
then
in the like
At the
in
location.
your bones or
it could literally be anywhere, but it's wherever the blood cells are sickling.
just about us.
Yes.
so like you be there and it's like telling my leg,
Yeah,
like this,
on my back.
So by any means,
Right.
that's where the crisis is happening.
Exactly.
So you can feel it coming.
Honestly, sometimes yes. Because nothing. You won't just get up and have a crisis. You have to have something that triggers it.
What kind of
so
stuff trigger?
there are a lot of triggers. Personally, for me, if I'm like in a cold place for too long, if I'm too hot, stress is a very, very big trigger for people with sickle cell. What else? Dehydration. That's very important. Dehydration.
Hey, we have doctors in the house.
Yeah,
Broadway
Charlie, we are not just
See?
talking loosely, you know.
Dehydration, and then if there's any underlying infection that you don't know about, so even like a common cold can lead to a sickle cell crisis.
So I have a question: is the AC too much?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, fine.
I would have
So he doesn't like trouble.
Me, I don't like trouble, man. It's not.
I'm fine.
It's not now that we have to carry you to hospital.
Because Zuu doesn't know
Okay.
anything about sickle cell. Zuu, do you know your what do you call it? Your
My
Your
genotype.
genotype.
Zuu doesn't know his.
You should
No,
go
I've
get
never
that
checked.
checked.
I've never checked.
I
But you know the funny thing, most of the
But I
people who
don't
never
need
check
it.
are usually AA, I think. Or most of the
Okay.
people who don't know, not that most people who don't check, most people who don't know are AA. So their parents have never had like a
Usually.
conversation with
Yeah,
them.
so I was, I even asked, I think I asked my mom, like last week, when I knew they were coming to do this thing. I was like, what's your genotype? She said, what's that? I'm like, yo.
Wow.
You see, the thing is, I think in the 90s, now it's better now, but in the 90s and 2000, like I was born in 2000, so in the 90s, when people were having kids, people were not really talking about sickle cell. Sickle cell it's only now that people are starting to talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So there are a lot of people who had kids. They don't even know what's that sickle cell. What's that?
Yeah.
You know. So it was just by luck for lots of people that they are AA, and some people were unlucky and then they were SS.
Yeah.
So now I guess now people are trying to check even while people should be checking even while they're dating. If you feel like it's getting serious, go to the hospital and check your genotype or know your genotype already.
Okay, I have a question. I guess you guys can answer as well. So what if I'm AS and Zuu is AS, and then now we really like each other, like we want to marry, right? And like we know that the whole chat thing, we'll add like a link that shows how the whole thing occurs. We feel like, but there's a probability that we can have AS children, AA children. So what's
It's a
up?
25% chance, right, to have.
But it's
SS.
not 25% in your marriage. It's 25% for each
For each birth,
child,
yeah.
each conception.
Yeah.
So then my question is, can we risk, and then when we have a child, we manage it? Like,
Personally, I don't
Tell
think
us,
it's
tell us.
fair
Yes,
for
tell
you
us.
to bring a child into this world that's going to constantly be in pain. And as of right now, they're not, even though there've been some like medical advancements, there's no known cure for sickle cell. There's like a stem cell transplants, but it doesn't like, the probability is not
Yeah, it's
100%.
100%.
Right.
And it's expensive too, right?
Very expensive.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I've been blessed to be able to have, the necessary medication and doctors that actually know what they're doing. But if you don't have the kind of like medical attention and care around you that I have, it's something that is very difficult to deal with. Even mentally, it's very, very difficult for the parents and for the child as well.
so you might think that, we can manage, but once you get into it, you'll be like,
no.
it wasn't.
It's crazy. So wait. So can you rate the pain like from 0 to 10? 10 being most painful.
What do men know about pain? That he's asking.
Thank you.
What do you mean? What is your scale of 10?
I'm asking me. I don't know. I've never felt a 10 before.
So then how?
To be honest,
So
I
that's
mean,
just I'll imagine.
I would rate it like it's all I've ever known. So I really don't have anything to like
Yeah, that's true.
rate it
okay,
again.
so comparing it, have you ever like broken a bone or had a
Never.
cut?
Oh, crumbs.
Cramps.
Honestly, in terms of cramps, like cramps are nothing compared to sickle cell crisis. We literally need like
crazy.
morphine, oxycodone, like oxygen, because we can't breathe. Like it's
Yeah.
really bad. It's not,
That's
yeah.
wild.
like the dripping things.
Yeah, always. I constantly, like, the minute I have a crisis, the first thing the doctor does is put me on drip because my body needs to be rehydrated. And then we go on to the painkillers and how to manage the crisis best.
So I have a question then.
Why do you keep saying I have a question? Just ask. I have a question. I'm so sorry. Am I being mean to you? I have no idea. So
You
I'm
see,
sorry. I had a rough
do
week.
you know something about Afi? She likes to talk trash. When you do it to her, then she will say, pause. Zuu, I don't like how you're talking to me. Zuu, I don't like how you're talking to me. Zuu, you can't do this.
No, I'm too silent. You want girl power.
One day I'll just... Anyway, as I was saying, I have a question.
Hey, you're really moving close to the guest. Yes, come here.
As I was saying, I have a question. How long, on average, would you say you have been hospitalized for when you have crisis?
Like, what's the longest? And you were like,
Okay, let's see what's the longest. Like,
A month.
from one crisis.
Yes, but what happened was I basically had acute chest syndrome, which is kind of like, it could be a byproduct of a crisis, depending on how bad it is. And I couldn't breathe. Like, I had to learn how to breathe all over again because my body was so dependent on the oxygen.
How long ago was this?
This was way back. I was like probably 17. The only thing I would say, it felt like forever because I was in high school. I was even writing exams as well. So it was just stressful for me. But in terms of like, normally it's like a week, 2 weeks on average. Like, I don't really stay in the hospital for long because it's normally just finding what's triggering the crisis. If it's an infection, then antibiotics. That's what's going to cure it. Or just painkillers to like get rid of the pain.
Okay, so you mentioned that you have a sibling or siblings that also have.
Yes.
So
I
do you
have a
guys,
sister.
what has the vibe been like in the house? It's like you have to be checking on her and she checks on you. Do you guys have at least that comfort that, okay, I can relate with you? Or it's sort of like manifests itself differently in everybody. Everybody's sickle cell is different, so you can't even really relate.
I would say my sister gets sick more often than I do, but I think that's also because she goes to boarding school. So I think the stress of school and the not being at home and like it's really up to her to take care of her health. Like, she's having to be responsible at a young age. And in terms of like how we relate, honestly, we laugh about it. Because we can't take it. It's such a serious thing that if we constantly put it in our heads, like, this is so drastic, every day we have to wake up, we're taking medication, one day we'll go out, we'll come back, we're getting sick. Like, it's too much. And it mentally, like, it weighs a lot. So we just kind of make jokes about it. That's the only way that we just, like, ride through it. And you kind of have to accept the situation for what it is. At the end of the day, there's nothing that can really be done except for us actually taking control of our own health, you know, doing monthly blood tests and making sure that, you know, everything is good. So
are you like open about your what do you call it? What do you say, your sickle cell traits or your sickle cell status to others? Because I feel like it's not something people when you even ask someone where your sickle, they look at you like, why do you want to know this secret, you know?
So
do you open up about it?
I would say I'm very big on educating people about sickle cell because I've literally been told not to claim it. That's it's a case, and like the Ghanaian stigma against sickle cell is crazy. Like, I've been in classrooms where I'm learning about sickle cell, and then maybe the teacher would know. Everybody's looking at me. Oh, life expectancy for sickle cell is about this age. Everybody's looking at me.
And everybody's just like...
And then it's just some kind of like, oh. And the thing is, I never want anybody to feel sorry for me, because I live life like a normal. In fact, I overdo it. Like,
she did jam.
I really overdo it. And so I literally had someone, I didn't even know this. She had sickle cell, and we were in the same school. And I think I recently made a post about Sickle Cell Awareness Day, I think. I made a post about it on Instagram. And she came to me and she was like, you know, the whole time, every time I was out of school and things, like, I had sickle cell and I couldn't speak about it. And you are constantly an inspiration to me because you make me feel more comfortable about speaking. And I just didn't understand why people, like, make it seem like it's something to be ashamed of. If I'm born this way and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it, and I've been blessed enough to actually be healthy most of the time, then you can believe that I'm going to speak about it and educate people about it. Because at the end of the day, like, I feel like it's inspiring. Everybody has their own battle and journey that they go through. It doesn't have to be health-wise. But at the end of the day, like, we all find a way through it. So I don't see why I should have to hide mine.
100%. That makes sense.
That's inspiring. What a speech. I'm so proud of you.
So aside your sister and then the girl in school, is there like a community in Ghana, for example? Is there like a place where people who have sickle cell have like
Definitely.
conversations, discuss,
So,
or stuff like that?
There's the Sickle Cell Foundation of Ghana. My sister and I donate to them quite often because they're actually making a difference in terms of creating centers for people to test for sickle cell, and then also even giving free medication that we need, like hydroxyurea, folic acid, penicillin, providing that for people who may not be able to afford it as well. There's Novartis as well, which also I know provides lots of education about sickle cell. So there are quite a few communities and organizations that are making a difference in terms of, you know, sickle cell awareness, especially.
Okay, I want to go back to the crises. Is it like you said, sometimes you can feel it coming?
Yeah.
Is it fast? Like, is it like my hand?
This is so weird.
I mean, I want to understand.
Okay, I get
so
it.
The thing is, like, me personally, I kind of know if I'm overdoing it in terms of like, my body feels very stressed, or I've been I've just stressed my body out to the point where I feel exhausted, I feel drained, I don't feel at 100 right now. That's kind of like when you can feel a crisis creeping up. And for me, honestly, I'll just start by feeling lightheaded. And then maybe like after a while, if unchecked, like if I can feel it coming, I take a painkiller, or I can kind of like curb it. But if unchecked, then it becomes a full-blown crisis, and it's like, it's just unbearable pain.
So it takes like 2 hours or
I can't put like
on average. I mean, I want to like visualize it and imagine how it feels. You know what I mean? If let's say right
Do you
now,
have some?
right now
I feel like you want to. You can say something.
It actually depends
on the person.
yeah.
So just in case you didn't hear it through the mic, yes, what did your teacher say? You don't ask the question. Yeah, I heard it.
So basically, he said it's not very predictable because it depends, right?
Yeah.
So it can start in different ways. It can start like a throbbing pain, like a migraine, and then it progresses from there. So
Throbbing pain actually is like a very good way to describe it, because
we have what graduates and graduates.
it's faint, but you can kind of feel the pain starting in that particular area. If I don't take a painkiller and I leave it unchecked, I say, okay, cool, I'm fine. In the next day or so, it could be a hospital situation.
So like, you know how sometimes, I mean, obviously not the same, but like sometimes, let's say before you go and sleep, like you have like a slight cough, you're like, yeah, what? I don't know when I wake
You're
up.
saying this like you
when I wake
want
up
to say
tomorrow,
something to me.
Yeah, Afi gave me a cold last week, guys, and I was suffering.
Last
so,
2
yeah,
weeks.
Whenever it was, she gave me a cold and I really went through it. So yeah, when I had like a light cough before I slept. I was like, hey, tomorrow I'm finished. Like I just knew. And then I woke up the next day and I was like,
really
yeah.
finished.
So it's like that ish sometimes.
Once the pain like starts, you feel discomfort, like sleeping.
So it doesn't come slowly. When it comes, it comes.
Okay, so it can start faintly. You can feel it slowly. Me personally, I don't like problem. I'll take a painkiller. I don't like problem. I'll take a painkiller.
Yeah.
If I wake up now and the pain is still there, then I'm telling my mom, hi, I'm not feeling too well. I'm calling my doctor to come and instantly give me drip, because I don't want it to escalate to a point where
it's
I
too
have
much.
to be in the hospital and they're putting me on morphine and oxycodone and all kinds of painkillers. It's really, it takes a toll on your body as well, constantly just having to,
So how often do you have, would you say, for you, I mean everybody's different, so for you, how often do you have the crises?
You've not been listening. Oh. She's not. You can slap him.
Free
pass.
She didn't say
free
it.
pass.
She didn't say it.
She did. She said as much as possible. She tries to make sure she doesn't have crisis.
No. So how?
So even
if you had to give, I heard that, but if you had to like say, oh, every 2 months.
Then the question you should be asking is how often does she feel a crisis coming?
How often do you feel the crisis coming? Like policing my.
This is a hard question, because at the end of the day, it's not like he said. It's not predictable.
Very random.
It's not predictable.
It's literally very random. But if I know I'm not taking care of myself, I've gone out to jam and I'm feeling. I've gone out to jam, and the next day I'm feeling, weekend things. Like I know that a crisis is about to come.
Yeah.
So
I have a question. Forget about Zuzu. It's not serious. I have important question. So when did you start taking over your health? Because I mean, you were obviously like when you were younger, your parents
Yeah.
can see it coming, they take you to the
Yeah.
hospital, you don't know what's
Yeah.
happening, all you know is that you're sick, they
Yeah.
brought you. When did they break it to you that, Charlie, this is what it is, so
Yeah.
when this happens, you have to do this, when this
So
happens.
my mom, like,
Why you laughing?
she's practically my doctor. From
Don't forget what you're saying, why are you laughing?
I have an important question. This is the important
It
question.
actually is a very important
Oh,
question.
why you like that? Look, I have a mission here. Stop.
What's the
Continue,
mission?
don't mind you with bad
Continue,
vibes.
continue.
Because your mom is actually
Anyway,
like your doctor.
Yeah, from a very young age, she started to let me know the importance of taking care of myself. Not to say that I'm different than anybody else, but I cannot overstress my body due to the fact that I'll end up being in hospital. My sister as well. We just kind of had to take over our health, know to take our medication morning and night, know what triggers us. Basically know what to do in the event that my mom is not even there and we have a crisis. Like, we both know how to take care of each other and we know, like, the protocol. So first of all, we need to ask on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the pain? If the pain is like a 9, she's screaming, she's crying, she's on the floor, she can't move, hospital immediately. If it's like a 5 or a 6, we'll start off with, like, not really a strong painkiller, but something that we'll see. If the pain eventually stops, then cool. Or even like a hot water bottle, that could help with the pain as well. And then obviously we need to find out what's triggering it. So we'll go and do a blood test, see if there's anything wrong. If the blood cells are like, there's a word. If I'm hemoglobizing,
Hemolyzing.
Take your time.
is it hemolyzing?
Oh, they are
Hemolyzing.
doctors. They are doctors.
If I'm hemolyzing, and then see,
What do you say first? What do you say first?
can we cut this out?
No. Hey,
Can
no,
we cut
never cut it. We'll never cut it.
It's really going on TikTok.
No, you guys,
Continue. Don't
my
don't
mother
feel-
made me actually research, and this is kind of embarrassing.
No, the fact that you knew that you're making a mistake knows that. I mean, I've embarrassed myself so many times on the podcast, and I have no shame. Don't worry.
Yes.
Hemolyzing.
I even forgot my point.
You were saying that
just describe it. You don't have to say it.
Yeah, so check it. Like, just go through all the protocols and see what is causing the crisis.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now that you have responsibility for yourself, you can take your own drugs and everything. Me, I've watched Euphoria when like it's like muffin is like a vibe. So how do you make sure that this one is not like this pain is a 5, like
No.
you let me treat it as a 9
we don't
and stuff like that.
We don't take painkillers unless we really need them, because we already know how bad these painkillers are, the effect that it has on our liver and on our system in general. Also, you see, that's the thing. Funny enough, I've actually been in a hospital. This was like probably like a week. I was in the hospital for a week, and they were pumping me with morphine. Literally, my mom wasn't in the country, and my dad, even though he knew a lot about sickle cell, he wasn't that much educated on what to
hands-on
do in
like your mom.
certain, like as much as my mom was. And so, one day I remember, who even called? Someone called to say, isn't the morphine too much? Like,
Yeah.
because why is everything morphine? Like, normally you start with morphine and you move to something that's a bit weaker. Like, it could be like even just Tylenol or something to like just, after a very strong dose of morphine or anything like that, you need to like, you can't just consistently be giving that. And so the doctor is like, we need to face the pain now, we can deal with addiction later. I was like,
I'm sure this was in Ghana.
yeah, it was. And I just looked at him and I was like,
Head, my brain burst.
That's crazy.
I was like, what? And it's so funny because like you have actual practicing doctors who don't know what they're doing. And if you don't know about your own body, your own
Yourself,
health,
yeah.
like you don't know how to take, they'll end up killing you for
Yeah.
free. They'll end up killing you for free.
Yeah, but I guess because you are like, as you've said, like more knowledgeable, your mom has
Yeah.
educated you
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You guys know like I'm
Yeah.
doing this and this is the effect.
Yeah.
But do you think generally there can be that tendency to have substance abuse when
Definitely.
people don't know exactly like what to do? Yeah.
Definitely. At the end of the day, nobody wants to be in pain, but
Yeah.
even sometimes I have to film it. I have to say, I would love to, like, you know,
Yeah.
I would love for this pain to disappear right now, but I'm not going to stress out my body and take that risk because you don't know the side effects of what you're also taking as well. So,
Okay. So I want to ask you about relationships.
Because he wants to date her. Go and check your genotype
like
and come back.
friendship or
He's not even in friendship.
Hey, Zuu.
So as we know, you are SS, right? So when you are in a relationship with someone and it's starting to get serious, you know that be like? Because I know you are a very romantic kind of girl.
How do you know?
Because she's told me.
When did I say that?
Zuu likes girls, so every girl that comes in, I always feel some tension in the room.
Let me tell you, I think Afi is frustrated or something because he always projects. You know, Afi's always projecting. Zuu likes girls. And this girl has a crush, and I think
Thank you,
there's
but
some
Zuu
things.
likes girls. Why
There's
you
some
say I'm
things that you
projecting?
need to like handle, like look within and deal.
No, they say that heal.
deal with them.
Please heal.
Okay, yeah, heal. Okay.
I'm healed. You like girls. You don't come and
Anyways, as
shift
I
the
was saying,
goalposts.
when
It comes to relationships.
it comes to relationships, let's say you want to be serious with someone, settle down. Is it? Of course, it has to be. But do you ask? Like, how do you do it? Like, what's your genotype? When do you know that? You have to ask them that, yo, Charlie. Because obviously, if they're AS, then now there's a what?
This is definitely going to be part of the cut.
75% chance. No, if she's SS and she gets someone who's AS, now
It's more.
Now there's a 75%
Yeah,
chance that
75.
your children will be S.
Yes.
Yes. So how does that work? How do you ask? Or do you ask? Or is it on your mind?
I generally stay away from men.
What?
Like, men are bad people.
No.
Hey, we
that's-
are getting. No, you men, you are really doing something wrong because Suad was giving this vibe. Now she's giving this vibe. Please, whatever people are doing, just stop. Stop.
No.
But that is a good question.
Yeah, no.
Personally, I'm 21 years old. So
Yeah.
I don't really, like, my first love is my books.
Oh, this one.
Do
She's
you know
doing the
what?
episode
Do you
because
know
her mother
what?
is going
Do you
to
know-
watch
give
it, so Charlie.
Give me a high five because you actually you answered this
But
well.
I would say, I mean, if you feel like you and the person are going towards marriage level, and even at that, honestly, in romantic relationships, having a chronic disease like sickle cell, I would say you need to be with somebody who is compassionate and who understands
Yeah.
what you're going through. Because it's very hard to see the person that you love constantly be in pain and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And I've seen people who are just, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to hack it. Like, one day, okay, the next day, oh, babe, I'm in hospital. Like, they don't know how to react. And it's very, you can't tell when a crisis is about to happen.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like I get crisis whenever I'm excited about something that's big, and then it just kind of like, it ruins my whole mood.
Right.
Like, it can really take a toll on like my mental health as well. So
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't understand exactly what you are going through, or doesn't at least try to, then that's like already a very big red flag.
So personally, do you feel sometimes do you feel shortchanged by God, for example, that like it's not fair? Everybody else is doing certain things, but me, I can't do
I
some.
used to. I really, really
And
had
like
to.
you said, mental health. And
Yeah, I
everything.
had to overcome that thought process because at the end of the day, like I said, I feel like I'm here to inspire people. Like
Yeah.
the average
Wow.
person,
Oh, go on.
So the timing,
said wow.
the timing,
the average,
the average.
the average person who doesn't have the the healthcare that I do might be down and depressed and feel like, oh, my life is not going anywhere. But like I'm here to say, sickle cell, it does not stop you from living a very fulfilled life. I know people who are 80 who have sickle cell who have given birth to like 5 kids.
Yeah.
And they're completely okay.
Yeah.
You just need to know how to take care of yourself. And life doesn't always deal you a perfect, set of cards, but you just need to work with what you have, I feel like.
Yeah.
Unique.
And then
Okay,
how?
so,
Okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask you ask a question. Ask a question.
I was going to ask about I haven't forgotten Zoo because I just
You also made me forget. That's why I threw it back to you.
Okay, if I have it, I actually have a good question. So with respect to when you said men are trash or whatever, do you sometimes feel like low key you have a barrier because of what you just said, like I'm always being with someone and I'm
remember
always
my
have
question.
a crisis when the person says we should do this, I'm supposed to go for
Yeah.
like you're just like
I have my walls up to some extent because I feel like and this is very bad of me to feel like this, but I feel like sometimes I'm just kind of like inconveniencing the person. Like, it's a very, very weird way to think about it, but at the end of the day, like, this is somebody who is supposed to like love you in all aspects, but when they see you on the floor crying in pain, you can't breathe, you are in pain, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it can only be gut-wrenching for somebody who actually cares about you.
100%.
And then it's like, even watching my mom, like, sleeping by me in hospital and things, I'm like, bruh, like,
I feel bad for you, yeah.
how, like, she's putting her life on hold.
Yeah,
She
just
sits
for-
here and her child is in pain. She can't do anything about it. She can't take the pain for you.
Yeah.
All we can do is just hope and pray that,
things are gonna
things
get
are
better.
getting better. So, I don't want to have to, like, willingly put someone that I care about through. And I do wish sometimes, like, I wouldn't have to like, put them in situations. But that's one of the first things I'll tell you. I have sickle cell.
Right.
If you know that
I mean, yeah.
it's something that you can't really, handle, then it's cool. Like, I don't take it personal at all. 'Cause at the end of the day, like I said, I'm responsible for my own health. God made me this way. I can't change anything about it.
Right.
Accept it or not. It's really up to you.
Yeah, so then with what you're saying, like with respect to friendships and other things, you sometimes feel like your friends are like managing you, like, hey, we're all running, hey, relax. Like maybe we're going to Blaze Entertainment. Blaze Entertainment, please, I've not come to your place yet, so come for free.
Actually, yeah.
But like, for example, we all go to Blaze Entertainment. Do you know where Blaze Entertainment? Mm-hmm. Then it's all about jumping. We're like, hey, so you there, relax. Are you sure do people
my
be your friends?
Wouldn't do that because they know that I know how to manage my health.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, and even if you look at me, like, you kind of give me that kind of vibe that you're like, I'll just be like, yo, I'm fine.
Relax,
when I get
relax.
tired, I'll stop. Like, I know my body better than anybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
But when people do constantly check up on me, like, oh, how are you? How's your health? It really, like, I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes it can feel like a battle that you're just going through by yourself. So having a support system really, really helps. Because I've had friends literally like, oh, one day I'm with them. Next day, oh, what's up? I'm in hospital. And they'll literally just come and see me. Like, they'll come and see me, cheer me up. Like, there's nothing like having company and people who understand what you're going through when you're in a time like that. Because it really sucks. Like, you just feel helpless. That's the way to describe it. You feel helpless. Nothing you can do. And sometimes I've literally been in pain to the point where I'm like, God, like, why? Like, just take me. If this is the point, why am I here to just constantly be in pain? And in the moment, it's kind of like, it's a drastic thing to think, but like, I just need to see the bright side of it. Like, thank God that I haven't been sick to the point where I can't do the things that I need to do. Like, it hasn't stopped me from doing anything I've ever wanted to do in this life. Like, I'm perfectly capable of living life like an average, normal person. I just need to know my condition and, like, act accordingly.
I want to ask you about stigma.
Okay.
Right? So, growing up, at least at the point where you realized that, or you knew, and your mom told you what was going on, you have SS, sickle cell, and then people in your class and stuff in school found out about it. Like, was there any sort of stigma? And usually the stigma, I guess, comes from ignorance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how was it like for you growing up, primary school, secondary school?
I even feel like more of like when you're having like class, like you said, and they're talking about sickle cell, they say so AAAS, and it's like SS, and the circle is that's the bad vibes. And these people, they fall sick, and their life expectancy enhanced.
And then the whole class will just stand and look at you.
Okay, so I have two examples. One of them was when I was in primary school-ish, and something happened. I can't remember. Somebody annoyed one of the PE teachers. And then they said they should do laps, like just, run around the field for the longest time. And obviously my PE teacher knows that I have sickle cell, so he's like, oh, like you don't have to do it. And then the next, like after class, everybody's looking at me like, why? By you. By you. And I just felt so bad. Because I'm like, if I could, I really would.
Yeah. Someone like if Zuu was sickle cell, and the way he go over us for here, Zuu would just be using it to his advantage.
If I could, I really would. But you guys are making me feel like,
you did it intentionally. Like, I have sickle cell, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
No,
I felt so bad.
That reminds me of like people who had asthma in primary school.
Yeah, that's when they used to show us paper.
When it's time for pee, my chest, and then they went sit down. I'm like, you look at you.
Come and run and expand your chest.
Yeah, I understand why they were upset, but I guess like you said, it comes from.
I didn't blame them because I didn't understand, but it just made me feel
like if I could
different and left out. And it was very rare that I ever felt that way because people just genuinely, you can't, by looking at me, thank God, by looking at me, you can't tell that there's anything wrong with me. I know people with sickle cell who actually like, you can see it on them. They look sick. They look sick. And so, when I went to go do my COVID vaccination, they were like, are you sure you have sickle cell? I'm like,
you are trying to pass inside. Like, first they were doing like for specific the priority people. They're like, hey, you're trying to pass inside.
And I'm just like, what is someone with sickle cell supposed to look like? That's actually answer the question. What are they supposed to look like? It's so, and it goes back to the stigma because people assume that you're supposed to be unfit, unwell, look skinny.
So do you exercise?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yes, but no.
Just light exercises.
Yeah, nothing too strict. Like I don't go to the gym or nothing, but like I'll take a walk, I'll jog, things like just general things for my health.
So it's not like entirely advisable for people with sickle cell to actively do like strenuous exercises because like your blood would be pumping and you need oxygen to be flowing through your body constantly.
You could get dehydrated. Just all of the exercise that you're doing could put your body through a lot of stress, leading to a crisis. So yeah, it's not advisable. But the second instance where I was like, okay, like you said, I was in biology class, I remember. And the teacher, she already knew I had sickle cell. So literally every time I come to class, Xolasie, where's your water?
Oh, God.
And everybody's looking at me like, why does she always need to be drinking water? Like, wow, Lord. And then one day, we finally get to the point in the curriculum where we're learning about sickle cell. And she said the life expectancy is like 40 or so. Everybody just looks at me. Everybody just looks at me.
They're like, okay,
And I was like,
25 years to go.
So I'm living that class.
When we were in school, when we had WASI, we used to do like some 90 days to WASI, they would be moving the paper. So like the right side day for last day, every day they
Everybody's like, mental countdown.
counting down for you that
Oh my God.
I'm living that class. People are saying I'm sorry and things.
Oh no, you people, you can't do that. You see, Ghanaians, we are so problematic.
Oh my God.
Because we've done ourselves most hospitable, most scary. We've got to the person sorry.
People are saying I'm sorry, and I literally went home and I told mom, and like she was like, honestly, if I hadn't like educated you to the point where like you wouldn't say something like this person,
you'll be crushed.
No, yeah, because it's like you guys see me so differently
and so real,
and I feel like I'm just a normal person. So what is that I'm sorry about?
So you feel like there is definitely discrimination and stuff like that.
Exactly, because they don't understand though. I would say it's literally due to lack of education because I don't think that people with sickle cell cannot live a fulfilled life.
Yeah,
it's very, very tragic and it affects so many people due to the lack of education, lack of like proper healthcare, medication, and things like that. It's actually a really big problem, but it's not a death sentence. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I would definitely not say that. So.
Sickle cell is not a death sentence.
It's not a death sentence.
Yes,
that's your new. You should get it on the t-shirt.
But yeah. So next.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm cool.
I'm very fine.
Oh, here she came. She was like, "Oh, I'm shy. I'm shy."
Zuu doesn't know his. I'm AS, so I'm sharing that. So yeah, I'm AS. So if you like me, I'm AS. Sorry, we can't.
Do you know your boyfriend's genotype?
Yes, I do. He's AA, so we will be married soon.
Hey, I'm not moving into.
Oh, why are you doing that?
I'm leaving it in the episode.
I'm joking. Please, I don't. Men are trash.
No,
men are trash.
But I don't need to know.
Why don't you?
After everything that we've
I'm
learned,
not interested in having kids, so it's.
Yeah, there's that too.
I mean, I guess I can go and check, but like I don't need it. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad
Zuu doesn't want to have kids. Zuu will be the one that will have the most children. He say, "Come on, children." Say,
I like personally, I feel like I don't want to have kids either. But that's just because like looking at everything that comes with pregnancy
is stress.
And reading on people with sickle cell who have pregnancy, like it's such a high risk pregnancy to the point where I don't know if I want to put my body through that.
I've never actually considered that.
Because imagine you're carrying a baby, then you are getting crisis.
Hey.
I know of this girl. I watch her on YouTube. She has sickle cell. She does like vlogs and things. And she had a baby. She told me that she had to get. I mean, not me. She said,
deep for you. Like you follow her so much.
She was like,
I get it.
Connecting with the thing.
Oh.
Oh, I know the feeling.
She told me that.
She told me
that.
Say it with your chest.
She had to have blood transfusions like literally every other week. And for me, it's just crazy to think about the fact that already it's high risk. Imagine if the father is not even someone who is even present, compassionate, who cares?
Yeah, it's a lot to go
through. It's a lot.
Yesterday, your uterus is contracting, then your back to is doing like this. Hey, that's
even
like
crowns.
hell.
Sometimes crowns can trigger a crisis for me.
Oh, my
God.
Yo, damn.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah, don't you just join my team. No kids.
Anyway, next question. Look, I love
you so much. And we're going to get you on the pod again for like another conversation other than sickle cell. We're going to do an episode called
I bet
Bashing Zuu, and you'll be part of the guest on the table.
I bet. See.
But I have a friend even like a month ago or so. She had a really bad crisis. She was constantly like, she had to get a blood transfusion. Then her blood even rejected the person's blood from the blood transfusion.
So yeah, you guys, that one too. You also have to learn about
Yeah.
your rhesus factor and then your blood type. All these little things, you need to know them. Once you go over you when you get to the hospital.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they don't know what they are doing,
yeah,
it's not going to. Like,
So how does one check their genotype? Do you just walk into a hospital?
yeah, you can go to the hospital and tell them you want to check your.
And then they'll just.
Yeah.
How long does it take? Okay, I don't think you know. How long does it take?
I don't know. My parents told me that's my friend. You are here, so when you are going to marry well. But like it shouldn't take a long time. I'm
How
sure.
long will it take? Wait. We have to, how long does it take to check your genotype?
How long does it
Like a lab,
Like
like
if
if
you
I
go to the
come to the
hospital,
hospital,
yeah.
how long would the lab take?
take 45 minutes?
45
45
minutes, and you
minutes,
can
okay,
know
okay.
whether you and your boyfriend should break up. I'm
then.
joking, guys. I'm joking.
No,
But like,
for real though.
but after everything that she has said, like, then you have to start having
Yes,
a conversation
I think we
about
already know, we already-
adoption and
Where is Pokemon?
You can say it
Surrogacy.
again. What would you say to people who are
in
in
relationships.
a relationship and there's a risk of having an SS child? They should stop that thing.
Should they break up? I don't think
I
breakup
don't
is.
think breaking up is like. I'm not forcing you to break up, but I'm also not saying you should have children, because at the end of the day, it is not easy watching your child constantly be in pain.
I did not expect
The
you to say
money that you will spend on healthcare, doctor's trips, medication alone, like, is not something
And
that
the pain.
you
No,
would
but-
willingly want to put yourself through.
Okay, you people are here. Is there like something that we can do? For example, artificial insemination and then something. Like I don't know. Is there anything to do? Is there any way to?
It's Lotto.
Please.
Lotto.
My boyfriend is also AS, for example. Tell me. No, tell me the truth.
Nah,
put a
it's nothing.
dog.
Yeah,
So that means you
Don't have
guys
the-
are just going in there with faith.
break up. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of people make, is that, oh no, God will, don't worry,
Nyame
God
beye.
will, yeah, Nyame beye, and then your child is SS right now, you make hot. Silly.
Hey Zoo, don't cut it out.
I'll add it. I don't care.
Yes. Before we're about to wrap up though, but yes.
What will be your submission to the fact that a lot of us
I had a phase like that. I had a phase.
Can you like repeat? Yeah, repeat
Okay,
so
so his question is, what is her take on the fact that basically everybody has stages in life and then they want to be fulfilled. Okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get married, I'm going to do that. So what's her take on the fact that what? I don't remember.
like fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you
what's
don't
her
have-
take on that? Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like, I'm not going to be, like, there's no point?
like you're fulfilled in
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
after your education
Yeah.
and all that,
Yeah.
that you don't want to
So
attempt relationships.
I had a phase, and it was really interesting to see how I had a really bad crisis, and it kind of took a toll on me, because I was just like, I don't feel like I can go out, live my life, have fun without getting sick immediately after. And it became one of those things where I was like, will I ever feel like, okay, I am able to do what everybody else is doing? I can reach, like you said, different like stages in life, like marriage and things like that. Like, and I had to just snap out of it. I really did. Because like I said, everybody has their own struggle that you don't speak about.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be health-wise. Like,
Yeah.
life is hard already.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like I said, I've been blessed with the resources that I need to be able to manage my health. But overcoming that mental block that a lot of us face, it takes a lot of hard work, because you need to realize that, and I'm going to go a bit religious on this
Oh,
part.
do it for us. Do it for us.
You need to realize that God will not put you in a situation that you can't handle. He will not give you any battle that you can't face. He will not put you through anything that you can't overcome.
Yeah.
And I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not easy. Life is not easy at all. But if I know people who are 80, who have lived fulfilled lives, who have sickle cell, who's to say that I also can't do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Deep. We like it.
100%. I believe that yes, God will let you live a long life and be an advocate
Yeah.
and share your story, because it's so important. We see these things in class and it's just like, okay, yes, people are okay, and we just forget about it.
Yeah.
But then on the ground, like when you start to actually make relationships, have friends who are going through stuff like this, if you can't handle it the right way, what are you going to do? Because I'm looking back and I know certain people who had sickle cell and some of them who passed away, and I'm thinking about what are the things that they were doing that were triggers. And by speaking to you, I'm like, oh snap, like this was probably part of the reasons why she had this or he had this or this and this. And it's a very helpful conversation. And I really respect the fact that you're able to come out to say this. Because even me, crowd, I'm AS. Sometimes when people ask me, I'm just like, why? Like, why are you asking me, you know? But then it's good to see someone talk about it.
You have to own it, you know?
Yeah.
So, last question. So when, you know, like you're going through, especially the mental side of things, does it make you like very unreliable? It's a very, tell me. let me give you like context. See, this girl, in like over the, what did I say, years? Anyway, when we were supposed to do something together, she's like, oh yeah, I'll come. And then she will not come. And it's hard. It's like, I want to be upset because I don't know.
I don't understand why you're bringing up personal issues.
I have to bring it
to
up.
the podcast.
I have to bring it up.
I don't understand why, like.
Because, and let me tell you something. Usually when we have like
This
about
is
to
why I
have
stopped being your friend.
when we're about to have a podcast, Afi is like,
Please, it's even 15 minutes, crowd.
no, I'm almost done. When we're about to have a podcast, Afi is always like tripping. Oh my god, what's if the guest doesn't come? And I'm usually the one who's like relaxed, like it's cool.
Have you ever planned for me to be here and I haven't been here? Don't answer that question. Have you ever planned, like we've confirmed, like I've told
Don't
you
mind
yes?
him. We've not confirmed
Hey.
anything. Don't mind
you.
him.
No, not for the podcast. It's like other stuff.
So what's other stuff?
No, I don't.
Why are you
think so.
having
What's
a...
other stuff?
Anyway, so usually Afi is like,
No, you
I'm the
dragging
one
me into
who's-
this.
I'm the one who's
serious.
like-
I have to go for medical because how am I being here?
oh, let me land. I'm the one who's like,
Yes.
Afi, relax.
Mhm.
But this time, for the first time, I felt like how Afi feels because Xolasie is very
Shaky.
yeah.
So you're afraid that she will show up.
Bro, I was like, I woke up this morning, I said, hey, Charlie, and I was just, I think
Actually.
I had a daydream about it, like, she didn't show up, and I was just sad.
He said, oh, see you in 6 hours. I said, Charlie.
It's like she's going to chicken, like,
You know,
never mind.
When you sent me that I was driving, so like, I just parked. Because I literally left home. You know, like I was going out and after that I'll come here. So I left home early so I can finish everything and come here. I was like, so it means should I go back? Like, what's going on? So I had to park and I ask you, like,
I will
What's up?
show up when it is necessary and when it's important.
so the other times were not important.
Please, I don't want to seem like I'm an unreliable person. Okay, my future
You guys
employers
clear?
are watching me.
Oh no, I'm just I might whatever. So yeah, that's besides the fact. So yeah, I'm just saying I'll just say that I didn't expect you to come.
But
Even
I'm
though I
here.
asked you and I reminded you several times.
Okay.
But I'm glad you came.
Thank
So I'm
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you for having me, guys. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
enjoyed this
Our
conversation.
pleasure.
Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Really, really.
And I really appreciate the fact that you guys are actually bringing light to sickle
Oh,
cell
yeah,
and
yeah,
doing
yeah.
your own part to create awareness is really, really important. So thank you guys as
Thank
well.
you so
Tell
much.
your friends about Stay by Plan. They should listen and follow us and buy merch. You to buy merch. We have nice.
I think you guys should give me free merch.
And on that note, thank you guys for listening to Stay by Plan today. This was an amazing. Oh yeah. We didn't even do the outros, man. I don't have any rapid fire.
So
Do you have
before
anything?
we wrap up, we have two different things and we're going to start playing games. So those of you who have not been watching on YouTube, you're going to be missing
You're
out.
missing out.
You're going to be really missing out.
That's right.
We're going to be playing games.
That's right.
Anyway, so we have two things that we do. We want to know the song that you've been listening to, and then we're going to play a game called Rapid Fire. So Zuu is going to say like a word, and then the first thing that comes into your mind, you just say it. So for example, if we say podcast, what do you say?
Like,
Okay, that's fair enough. I thought you said stay
People
by
say that.
plan.
People
but
say
like,
that. People say that.
stay by plan.
yes,
That's it.
that's the
That's
only
it.
rapid fire question that has one correct answer. But like you said, Mike, perfect.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm just
so
gonna, like, I have because I haven't thought about it. I just have to say generic stuff, not
music.
relating to sickle cell or anything. So
Friday. Okay, I'll do it. Friday night.
do you know what I would have said? No, when you say it, I'll say what I was gonna say.
What are you going to say?
No, say it,
Answer your rapid fire.
Sleep.
Hey, woo booba, woo booba. You
Hey.
are lying.
Do you know the number of times, like, you know me, I don't really go out, right? So I promise, like, the last 3 or 4 times I've gone out, I've seen this. I'll just be standing there. I just be talking to some people. This
Why
guy
are
will
you
just.
lying on my name? Okay, I'm a full-time student. I even work part-time. What time will I have?
The moment I said
To be
Friday
doing
night, the
such.
side eye you gave yourself.
What time will I have to be doing such?
No, it's fine. It's okay to like town. It's not a bad thing.
Hey, so you're a town girl.
She likes town.
If someone calls you a town girl, it's painful. Like, hey, like you there, all you know how to do is to be in town.
I'm feeling so attacked.
No, you're not a town
I'm feeling
girl.
no, thank you. Like this accusation.
Club girl.
This accusation.
Anyway, what's the next?
So why did I know my name? It's actually not funny. Like my future husband could be watching and he just
But maybe he also likes maybe you meet your husband.
no. I'm an introvert.
So you haven't met anybody like out before?
I don't even meet people, period. Like I said, men are bad people, but moving on. Moving on. Next question.
So next question.
Oh, yeah, I'll say something generic because biology class.
Sickle cell.
I thought she was gonna say countdown.
I like to be counting down for her.
Doing a countdown for her. For me, that was the funniest part of this whole episode. Bro. That's like I'm just imagining like. Imagine if I was in the class, would I have come say sorry? Oh,
I'm really sorry.
That's the
Honestly,
funniest thing ever.
now looking back at myself, I think I was
Oh yeah, you there, should have come. I'm so sorry.
No, but honestly,
Like quietly.
just because of what happened that one day, I understand why the girl who didn't speak about the fact that she had sickle cell until after we graduated. I understand why she did that because she was in that class and she saw
She
what
didn't
I
get
went
sorry.
through.
She was like,
and she saw it. Now she was like,
have you seen that SpongeBob meme? The one that he's like, outside the class.
I'm dead. It could have been me.
It could have been me.
Oh my
man.
God.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
I guess down with the rapid fire. That was funny.
What
What
song
song
are
are
we
you feeling?
listening?
What do you think people should listen to? What song? Tell us.
Let me just check.
Should I give you a song?
Yeah.
Countdown by Beyonce.
Not that I don't like Beyonce.
I
It's
just
not
feel
your
like-
turn. It's not your turn. You're not supposed to give a song. So why are you praying?
It's a suggestion.
Don't. Are you Siri? Please.
Hey.
Sweetheart.
Okay, so do you have a song?
Oh yeah, I'm
Just any song.
Like Kulosa is a really nice song.
Kulosa.
Kulosa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we
really.
expect you to do a TikTok for us doing the performance
Kulosa.
and then the same thing, and we'll post it on our.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Charlie, this was really fun.
Really
I
funny,
mean, when
yeah.
Zuu said you were coming, I was like, oh my god, like this is a sensitive topic.
Yeah,
And
you don't
I'm
have
just
to maneuver
unhinged.
it.
Yeah, I don't want to
Honestly,
say
I'm not gonna
anything.
lie. I was at home panicking. I was like, "What if I say the wrong thing? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how people are going to feel." But this conversation was
I was
very.
really, I was
easy.
panicking about something completely different.
What were you panicking over?
Yeah.
We've been through it. We've been through it.
Yeah.
I swear, I'm not a flaky person.
But yeah.
But yeah, you guys made it very easy to talk about, and I feel like it's very it's easy to understand, relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This conversation was not anything too heavy, but it
Yeah.
is a very serious
But
topic.
it is serious.
It's
That's
a
what I
very
want to say.
serious
Even
topic.
though
The
we're
fact
not
that we are
feeling-
fooling with it
it's
does
very
not mean
serious.
that-
It's serious. Very
And
serious.
I would just like for us to all strive to, continue to create awareness and
Yeah.
educate people as much as we can on sickle cell. Me personally, I have a bar. Every day I'm learning something new. So let's just kind of keep it going and, kind of get rid of the stigmas surrounding it as well.
Yeah. And stop having children if you are
Literally.
AS and AS.
How do you guys sign up? Like, what do you like?
So we just say, okay, thank you so much for listening. to
Oh,
this. So you do it
so
this
now-
time.
You think we should have like a sign out thing, right?
Yeah, like some catchphrase or something.
We'll think
We'll
about,
think about
it.
it.
Yeah. Or do you have a suggestion?
No. Bye, guys. Thank you
Okay.
for listening.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Stay by Plan.
This episode was recorded, produced, and edited by There Is No Studio.
Yes, that's the name. There's no studio. And thank you to the team, Nikita, Nams Photography, and Elizato.
Elizato. And the opening song was produced by Lil Kwaw.